this morning, which is a good morning, right? Any morning that the Creator allows us to wake up to another day to discuss boxing or to do a job or whatever we decide to do based on the fact that the Creator has allowed us to wake up to another day, right? Be grateful, feel blessed, right? And for me, I woke up to another morning to talk about some boxing and specifically about Gervonta Tank Davis, right? Look, I do not get any significant gratitude about cooking Gervonta Tank Davis, about cooking any boxer, right? But if a boxer in my purview puts himself in a position, right, where he is tainting the sport of boxing, right, I gotta have it on a plate. I got to cook it, right? And here's the deal. Gervonta Tank Davis had been with Coach Calvin for years. Coach Calvin actually rescued Gervonta Tank Davis from the bits of potential ruin, right? When he was a kid, when he was a child, right? Coach Ford took Gervonta Tank Davis under his wing, right? And for years they rode together like father and son, right? And I was really impressed with that. You know what I mean? Up until lately, right? Like it looks like Gervonta Tank Davis has took a page out of one of those boxes books that became successful, right? And decided that they were so successful that they needed to part company with their present trainer, right? Now, I can't specifically recall the, the specific incident, but I will say that it was a champion that beat Bernard Hopkins twice, right? And this kid was out of Arkansas, Little Rock, as a matter of fact, but I can't recall his name. But anyway, to make a long story short about him, right? He went champion, right? Became world champion, beat again by beating Bernard Hopkins. You know what I mean? So after he beat Bernard Hopkins a second time, right? He decided that he needed to jump ship from the people who brought him up in the sport, from the people, which was his team, that got him to where he was, right? He decided, I'm quite sure, at the behest of some other trainers, right, getting in his ear and telling him that they can do better. You know what I mean? Now, as a result of that, he parted company with his present trainers and went to another trainer, went to another camp, right? As a result of that move. And it's kind of like karma, right? You know what I mean? In the sense that you with somebody, they took you to the top, right? But you dump them, right? It's kind of like karma, right? But anyway, make a long story short again, right? This particular boxer eventually, a few months later, lost his title and hasn't had a good fight or a fight since, right? So the point I'm trying to make and make reference to is that you, in boxing, I believe that you stick with who got you where you are, right? But when it comes to Gervonta Tank Davis has parted company with Calvin Ford, right? And the notion from his other coach Kenny Ellis, is that, well, we're family. We're still family, and regardless of anything, we're still family. Now, I get the notion of what Kenny Ellis is really saying. Y'all don't, right? But I know exactly what he means by we're family. You know what I mean? And it doesn't mean that they're the same type of family, have the same type of family relations as you and I have with our family, right? You know what I mean? I'm not going to get off into the dynamics of what Kenny Ellis is talking about, but trust me, I know exactly what he means when he says we're family. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, and actually, that is when Kenny Ellis said we're family, that is a much more broader implication than just saying we're family. You know what I'm saying? It means much more than that. Trust me when I tell you that. So, given that, given that fact, or those facts, right? I find it hard to believe that Gervonta Tank Davis had the a mitigated gall to separate himself from people that brought him into the sport. But let's be clear about this. This is not the first time Gervonta Tank Davis has parted company with somebody who helped him elevate. You know what I mean? So let's take a look back at his relationship with Floyd Mayweather Jr., right? That relationship was toxic throughout, but it was toxic throughout because Gervonta Tank Davis found it impossible to deal with Floyd Mayweather Jr. Now I know Floyd Mayweather Jr. can be a little bit edgy, if you will, right? But he got you to where you are. He took you all over the world, right? And put you in a unique position where you were considered or are considered at the face of boxing and are considered at the cash cow of boxing. But that didn't seem to make a difference to Gervonta Tank Davis, right? Gervonta Tank Davis did what he did to Calvin Ford and Kenny Ellis and Party Company, right? He made excuses after excuses for why Floyd Mayweather Jr. was this and that, and you know what I'm saying. I'm not going to even quote some of the things he said, but he did some really foul stuff to the man that got him where he is today, right? Floyd Mayweather Jr. So the point that I'm making, or attempting to make, is you don't disrespect or disregard those that have put their life, career on hold for you. And I'm talking about Kenny Ellis and Calvin Ford, right? They basically put their life on hold to wrap their arms around Gervonta Tank Davis. And at the end of the day, one night, right, Gervonta Tank Davis showed his true colors and parted company with Gervonta Tank Davis before the next fight, which I think is next month. Next month, right? And this is a big thing. This fight is a big thing because I mean, why wouldn't it be? Gervonta Tank Davis is a multi-division world champion, right? He's undefeated, and again, he's the cash cow of the sport. So why wouldn't this be a big thing? Now, the proceeds that Gervonta Tank Davis will receive from this fight, right? Calvin Ford will not be in a position where he can reap the benefits of help make Gervonta Tank Davis the boxer that he is. I think that's kind of rotten and wrong to y'all. You know what I'm saying? That Gervonta Tank Davis has disrespected Calvin Ford and the sport of boxing, I might add, right? To have me, which I could be doing other things, right? Saying something to uplift the spirit of boxing. But I gotta sit up here and entertain y'all and talk about Gervonta Tank Davis and his inability to respect Calvin Ford and Kenny Ellis, right? I mean, it's just a rotten thing to have to do. But who other than me would do this, right? Cook Gervonta Tank Davis. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, man, you know, like when it comes to boxing, right, I'm trying to do something different. I'm trying to rid boxing of all the negative foolishness that goes on in boxing, right? All this ducking. Gervonta Tank Davis is one of the masters of ducking. You know what I mean? And that can be argued all day if you want to. I'm not going to debate you about that because I'm quite sure there's a lot of y'all out there that love Gervonta Tank Davis, contrary to the fact that he's a bum, contrary to the fact that he has not one iota of loyalty in his system. And the list goes on and on and on, right? We would do better without the Gervonta Tank Davises. You know what I mean? In my opinion, right? I'm quite sure there's a lot of y'all out there that just hunky-dory and love some Gervonta Tank Davis, right? I like him as a fighter, but he has a stinking disposition, you know what I mean, when it comes to dealing with humanity. It stinks, you know what I mean? It has a odor unbeknown to any other. Gervonta Tank Davis. Yeah, I said it. You know what I mean? And I would like if y'all got the scrolums to call in and voice your opinion about the boxers that y'all love and prop up so much. Javante Tank Davis. Area code 870-571-3995. Now, I'm going to give you a few minutes, you know what I'm saying, before I get up out of here, because I got some other things to do, too. Specifically pertaining to my podcast, you know what I mean? I mean, I'm cool. I'm getting where I need to go, but I'm not getting it fast enough for the information that I deliver to y'all. You know what I mean? The information that I deliver to y'all is totally about the sport of boxing. You know what I mean? I am not trying to elevate my numbers and to gain some type of notoriety. I am solely here to discuss boxing. You know what I mean? So for those that want to talk about anything other than boxing, hey, look, go to one of them other podcasts, man. Okay? And I appreciate you doing that, because this podcast, this channel, is about boxing, man. And what's in the best interest of boxing. You know what I mean? And that being said, so we need to start talking about Turki Al-Sheikh as well, right? Because Turki Al-Sheikh is update, you know what I'm saying, doing a better job with the sport of boxing than anybody in the past that I can recall, right? From years back, I'll say, right? And even given the fact that years back, there was a bunch of foolishness going on in the sport of boxing, right? So actually, Turki Al-Sheikh is a breath of fresh air to boxing. You know what I mean? And I think that we need to start recognizing that. And I say that to say that Javante Tank Davis is another person in the sport of boxing that doesn't recognize Turki Al-Sheikh as being what I consider one of the saviors of boxing. You know what I mean? He is doing a splendid job when it comes to resurrecting boxing. You know what I mean? Contrary to the fact that there are some of y'all that don't believe that, would want to believe otherwise, but it's a fact. Turki Al-Sheikh had his heart in boxing, right? And I think the sooner y'all start realizing that and giving that man his flowers, the better boxing will be. So I take notice to the fact that y'all don't want to have no discussion about your boy, you know what I'm saying, Tank Davis, Javante Tank Davis, right? So what I'm gonna do is, I think I did my day's job of cooking somebody, which was Javante Tank Davis, right? So with that said, y'all ain't got no conversation about your boy Javante Tank Davis. So I'm getting up out of here. Hit the subscription button. Hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section and tell me if y'all think Javante Tank Davis needs to change his behavior when it comes to the inability to recognize what loyalty means. And share this video with your friends and relatives. That being said, I got to get out of here. Later.